Okay, so this video is about the shit that Goths deal with, and yeah, I think this can apply to some other people in some other alternative areas, but this is, I guess, specifically Goth stuff, I guess. But yeah, so the first one is that people are always trying to save you, and usually it's religious people who are usually, Christians try to do this, and they're like, oh, you have to turn to God, turn to Jesus, and be saved. You have to, you know, be religious and whatever, because they like to stereotype Goth people and be like, oh, Goth people are evil, and Goth people worship Satan, and they're all Satanists and whatever. It's just like, no, don't be dumb. There are Goths of like any religion or lack of religion. Goths could be atheists, but Goths could also be Christians or Muslims or pagan, Wiccan, whatever. They could be a part of any religion, Buddhism, whatever, or just no religion at all. Doesn't really matter. And also, Satanism isn't even bad, so you know that kind of just whatever. But yeah, so just stop trying to save goth people just because you think they're evil, because they're not evil. So just leave people alone. They didn't ask, or usually they didn't ask for you to be saying this, and just leave people alone. If they don't ask, then you should leave them alone. So, anyways, next one is that people are just, oh, can you dress normal? It's like, can you dress not normal? Quote unquote, not normal. It's like, how does someone dress normal? Because, like, a lot of people dress goth, so therefore it should be kind of normal. Not everyone dresses the exact same. It's kind of the point of goth, anyways, is that people don't dress the same. So, you know, how about you try dressing goth and, maybe you like it. Maybe you like dressing in all black or like fancy, whatever, whether it's Victorian goth or whatever. Like, how about you try it and see if you maybe you will like it. Maybe you'll like dressing goth. Who knows? You just gotta try it. So, just leave people alone. Stop trying to tell people what to do. And the next one is I had a goth phase once too. Just like being goth isn't really a phase. For some people it might be, but I feel like for a lot of people it's not. So like, you know, you can just leave people alone. Why does it matter to you? It's like if they, you know, didn't ask you, it's like, why are you just randomly coming up to me and being like, oh, I had a goth phase once too. It's like, I didn't ask you. I didn't care to know. I don't need to know. I don't know you, so leave me alone. I could go up to random people and be like, I had a normal phase once too. Just like, it doesn't make sense. And no one asked, so why do it? Why bother people? Anyways, the next one is it's not Halloween anymore. And, like, officially it might not be Halloween, but it kinda is Halloween all the time for me, anyways, even if it's not officially Halloween. So, you know, I think for a lot of people it's always Halloween in some way, but obviously official Halloween is only on the one day of the year, so it's kind of sad. But yeah, like usually it's like Halloween all the time for me, but then when it gets near Halloween, then it's like extra Halloween, I guess. So, obviously we know that's not official Halloween, but it's still kind of Halloween in our minds all year round. So, yeah, it also, why does it matter to you, anyways? I don't get it. But yeah, anyways, next one is, are you a vampire? Or they ask that, you know you're not a vampire, right? It's kind of like, vampires aren't real, so why would anyone really think they're a vampire? Why would you need to tell them they aren't a vampire? Because, like, usually there's those edgy people that are just like, oh, I'm a vampire, I'm gonna drink blood, and they're kind of like, actually try to live as a vampire. But, goths don't usually do that, so, you know, you don't really need to tell us that we're not vampires, because pretty much all of us know that we are not vampires, so, you know, why do you need to say this at all? Anyways, the next one is kind of similar, but it's, are you a witch, or do you know, or witches don't exist, right? Which, actually, witches do exist. Witches do exist. So, obviously not like in the movies. Everyone knows that movie witches don't exist, but there are real witches. So, they don't do movie magic, they do real magic, which is not the same as movie magic. But also, like, some goths are witches, some are not. So, you know, it would vary between person to person, whatever. But yeah, also it's kind of like, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, you don't really need to know if they're a witch or not. It's kind of like something that I don't think people usually talk about it that much unless they're asked about it. So, I don't know. I guess if you ask about it, they would be willing to talk about it, but also a lot of people are judgmental, so they might not really be that willing to talk about it. So, I don't know. You just have to not be a trash person about it and be polite about it. So, you know. Anyways, next one is, people will say that your parents must hate you, which doesn't make any sense. Like, anyone could have any kind of parents. And it's just like shitty for the people who do actually have shitty parents. And, a lot of people who have shitty parents are not goth. So, that kind of stereotype just completely falls apart. With that, also, a lot of goth people do have nice parents, or like their parents are nice to them. So, it doesn't really make sense. It still just falls apart with that too. So, yeah, don't be a dick. So, anyways, next one, these ones are kind of similar to each other. Or these next few ones are similar to each other, and the first one is, are you depressed? It's like, not all goths are sad or depressed or whatever. So, just because they dress all black or listen to a certain type of music, whatever, doesn't mean they're all like super sad and want to die and stuff, and, whatever. A lot of goths are actually really happy, so I don't know where this exactly comes from. It's literally just, oh, you're wearing all black, you must be so sad. You must be going to like a funeral or whatever, you know, some shit. And it's kind of just like, that doesn't make any sense. Where did you get this from? You can't just look at someone and judge based off of how they look. That doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, anyways, next one is similar, where it's, do you self harm? And this, it's just, you don't need to know. Same with the, are you depressed? It's kind of just like, you don't need to know if they're depressed or if they self harm or anything like that. That's a very touchy thing. You can't just bring it up like that. That could kind of trigger them into possibly doing it more if they do actually do it. But also, it's just like another stereotype where it's just like, goths don't all, like, self harm, or they're not all violent and whatever. So why are you asking this? It's really weird and doesn't make sense. And, like, you know, also not all depressed people self harm either. So, you know, you can't really just whatever with that. Next one, very similar, where is it? They ask if someone is suicidal just because they're wearing all black and they listen to whatever music and stuff. It's just like, again, a very touchy thing that you should not be just asking someone just because of the way they look or what music they listen to. That's, really shitty. You might kind of whatever with that because that's a touchy thing. And if they actually are suicidal, then it's kind of just like, what the fuck? Why are you bringing this up? They probably want to distract themselves from that type of thing, so why are you trying to make them think about it? It's kind of shitty to do. So, like, if they are depressed or suicidal or they do actually self harm, then they probably want to not think about it. So, why are you bringing it up? You can't just base everything off of how someone looks or what music they listen to, whatever. It does not make any sense. Anyways, that's kind of it. That's all I have for this video. I guess if you want part 2, then you can, like, comment, subscribe, whatever. Push the bell for notifications and whatever. So, yeah, anyways, I guess by then.